Right, so Chelsea Football Club have now completed around 30% of our entire season. And I am going to round that up by a few percentages and say that we are now a third of the way into the season, just for the sake of this video. And that, ladies and gentlemen, means that I believe we need a season assessment. So in today's video, we are going to take a real deep dive. We're going to speak about how the start of this season compares to the start of last season. We will be speaking about the league in general and therefore trying to work out who our direct competition is. We'll be speaking about some of our players who have made our jaws drop or who could potentially be flopping, and we will be giving renewed predictions for the rest of the season now that we have an indication of what to expect. And as always, not only am I joined by, I'm also almost identical to. Almost, I should say.
They do say when they look at us, they say identical twins.
Yep.
I get that quite a lot. Mm-hmm. When I'm out and about and people come up to me and say hi, they often say, "Where's your brother Joey?"
Yeah.
And I go,
people just say to me, "Where's Josh?"
Brother Josh.
Brother Josh, yeah. No, because you know how many people at Stamford Bridge the other night just went, "Where's Josh?"
Because we literally don't leave each other's side.
And people are really disappointed if they see one of us without each other.
Yeah.
So,
roommates.
Yeah.
That's what they should say. Yeah,
there you go.
We just don't get enough.
Just quickly, before we get into the entirety of this season, we're going to have a look at how we're coming together, maybe have a look at some of the underlying numbers and things like that. I didn't get a Wolves review out after the game.
You did a preview.
I did a preview. I went to the game. I ended up staying out late that night, and then I had it coming at me from all angles on Sunday.
Weren't on Chelsea Fan TV.
I wasn't on Chelsea Fan TV.
Yeah.
We were going off on Chelsea Fan TV, I saw. But no, we had a misfit show. I had quite a few fights that I had an eye on. I was getting called out quite a bit. So I've been on it. I've been really, really working, but I wasn't able to get a review out of that game. To be honest, you lot will know what I'm going to say in the review. Esteval should be starting games. We looked at the bollocks and we're ticking over quite nicely. Is there anything you would like to add from that Wolves game?
I just think that people have been very pessimistic about beating Wolves, which I've never really understood. We just won 3-0. And people were a bit like, "Oh, we look rubbish in the first half, and I don't know how we're going to do for the rest of the season if we can't demolish Wolves." We beat them 3-0.
Yeah.
I think we just need to start being a bit more optimistic. I think we've got to be the toxic positivity.
Would you class last season as success?
Yeah.
You would?
Last season, the results against them, no.
No, as a success overall.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah? Did we win a form of European trophy?
We did.
Well, we win it at half-time every single time in every single one of their matches, or looking amazing at half-time every single time in every single one of those matches.
Could probably count the amount of times where we're doing that on one hand.
In fact, I would say more often we weren't winning at half-time. Do you know how I know? I was doing live streams for them, right? We're doing the live streams. All I would hear in the comment section and all I'd be reading is, Maresca's got no plan B, he's got no this, he's got no that, he's run out of ideas. And ultimately, my friend, just remind me, did we or did we not go on to win that competition?
What? Which one?
The Conference League.
I heard we did.
We did.
European trophy, which Arsenal are not very used to.
Not very used to at all. Although they are favourites for the Champions League this year. Do you know that? Do you want favourites 4-1? That's absolutely mental. Anyone, if you would like to have a wager with me, put it on now. Just inbox me. I'll take the wager. No problem. Arsenal not winning the Champions League. Look, I want to have a look at how we have started the season overall. Because there's been ups and downs, right? And I think that you could look at it and you could look at some of our losses and pinpoint the matches where it's gone wrong. But I think you can also give it context. Do you know, off the top of your head right now, whether or not we had more or less points at the 11-game mark last season?
I have a feeling that it was less. Less points last season.
We had 1 point less last season at the 11-game mark.
Not a big difference.
It's not a huge difference.
No.
And here's what I'll tell you, right? The context to it is that come that 11-game mark, do you know what the 11th game of last season was? I'd be absolutely amazed if you did. I'll give you a clue. You were there.
I was always there.
You were there, and it was a left-footed screamer. It's borderline
Newcastle?
screamer. I don't think you can really call it. It's borderline screamer. I'd call it a screamer. Chelsea player scores it, screamer. Anyone else, shitter.
Oh, so it wasn't a Chelsea player.
It was a Chelsea player, screamer. Left-footed screamer.
Arsenal.
Yes.
Pedro Neto.
Yeah. That was the game.
Probably
right?
the best goal that he scored for Chelsea. That.
No. Technically the best.
Go on.
But no, Fulham. Limbs,
but I'm talking about best technical goal.
Best technical
Well, do
goal,
you know
yeah?
what? That Fulham goal was good. You're right. That Fulham goal was pretty good.
Because the Fulham goal wasn't like a bad goal either.
It was
do
a
you know what I
great
mean?
goal.
Yeah.
That Arsenal goal was good, though.
No, it's a good goal. Good goal. But up until that point, right, in the league, we had played, so not this season, this is that last season, when we hit that 11 game mark, right, and we were 1 point worse off. We had played City, we had played Liverpool, we had played Nottingham Forest, who you know were high flying at that point. We had played Newcastle, who, to be fair, had a fairly rough start to the season. We beat them in that game. Yeah. We'd played Brighton, who always give us problems. We'd played Man United, who always seems to give us problems. And, as I say, that 11th game, we had played Arsenal. Yeah? So when you look at the start...
Huge, people to face there. Big teams.
You pretty much
Probably
faced
the
everyone.
biggest teams.
You've faced everyone, haven't you, really?
Yeah.
Really. All right, yeah, there are teams that can nick points off you, as we've seen this season. But in terms of games that you go into with a little bit of... I don't want to say intimidation, but...
Pessimism.
Yeah, that's the word. In terms of those games, we had a lot of those at this point last season. Whereas this season, when you look at it, we've faced... I mean, the losses that we've had have come to Man United, Brighton and Sunderland, right? But we've also still faced the likes of a good Crystal Palace team. We've come up against Liverpool in the league and beat them. Nottingham Forest, I'm not really going to count that in the conversation because they're not the Nottingham Forest of last season. They definitely weren't under Ange Postecoglou. At the same time as that, we've got wins over Spurs. The main point, what I'm trying to say here, is we haven't yet faced an Arsenal. We haven't yet faced a Manchester City. We really would probably find it hard to draw very clear conclusions as to where we're at until we face either of those two sides this season. Would that be fair to say?
I think that's fair to say. Look, you can extrapolate the data out that we've got so far. Do you know where we'd finish if we extrapolated the data out right now? Or how many points we'd finish on?
I don't know. How many points?
I'm predicting a win against Burnley. If we do that, then we're third way through the season, as you said.
Yeah.
If we beat Burnley, we'll end up on 69 points.
Fucking hell.
Great number. Not necessarily a good number for the league, though.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Didn't we finish on 69 points last season?
We've had a 69 point somewhere.
I feel like we might have done it last season.
Yeah.
Or at least near enough there.
Yeah.
So I do agree with you though, because I do also think there's a sort of a watermark that we need to get to in terms of beating those top six teams. We have sort of, I suppose, got away from that curse because we had so much time where we were nowhere near it, where we were losing every single game against the top six. Now we have got some results in recent times against them, but I still think if you're being honest with yourself, the Liverpool team this season, especially at the time in which we played them, are not the Liverpool team from last season. And you look at the games in which we're going to have to play against Arsenal, who look like they're title elect, and then also Man City, who are probably resurgent now. I'd argue
we'll have a chat about.
They're looking better. So I think
those games. Haaland does look good.
Yeah. We'll get into that in a second. But those two teams in particular, I'm worried about. But also, I think there are other teams around us in the league table right now that we still haven't necessarily played that I'm worried about.
Right. So let me move you on to the next question. Yeah, kind of Chelsea specific, but in the league in general, I have seen probably, I don't know, a handful of different videos, different content creators that I watch, and just like scrolling on social media and stuff. I'd say a handful of people with a mutual opinion, right? And that opinion is that the Premier League is not strong this season and that it's a really weak league. And what they're saying is like, a 2-game run can take you pretty much from the relegation zone to around second in the league. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not saying statistically 6 points can, but you're not far off that. If you went on a 2-game run and then beat a team that was in that top 3 or 4 of the league in that third game, then you would be, right? So the league's very tight. Is that an indication of a weaker league? Or
No.
is that an indication of a better league?
A stronger league.
I've always felt that that's an indication of a stronger league, no?
Yeah, I feel what's happened in this Premier League season is that the best teams have got worse, and then the mid-table, the sort of, the middle class of the Premier League have got better. And so if you're looking at it now, that if we're being honest with ourselves, what?
Can I just come in here? Because I'm so interested to hear what you've got to say, right? And I don't know whether I want to make this point now. But where do you put us then? Because you're saying the best teams have got worse, right? Liverpool have somehow managed to spend however much they've spent and got worse, right? People used to like to beat Chelsea with that stick for a long time. It's only right I return the favour. You spent a fucking shitload of cash and you've got worse. It's factual. It's factual. It's not a claim, it's factual, right? You've got worse, right? I don't think Man City are anywhere near as good as they were in the seasons, under Pep, where they were recording trebles, doing the Centurion stuff, like whatever. I don't think they've got any better. I think they're one Haaland injury away from really being in a race to qualify for Champions League spots rather than a race to win the title, in my opinion. And as for Arsenal, have they got better?
Yes.
Better defensively. Yeah.
But better defensively
what I
means
want to
a better
ask you, but
overall
what I want to
team.
ask you is, where do you put Chelsea in that? Because you're saying right, okay, a few of the bigger teams have got worse and a few of the smaller teams have got better. Where are you putting us? Because I'm at this moment in time, and ultimately we're going to try and answer this in the video, I'm not putting us in either category there.
I don't think it's fair to put us in either category. In a weird way, we're probably the most consistent out of the teams around us, if that makes sense. Because I disagree with you. I think Arsenal's defensive strength has made them a better team. And I think that Man City, probably at the start of last season, were awful. And they probably have slightly improved. Liverpool have fallen off an absolute cliff. Spurs are still playing in the same way that they were playing before. They've probably regressed into the middle class now. Tottenham
Spurs have just become a different variation of what they've always been.
The fact that they've always been classed in the big six does annoy me slightly, and I think it's a little bit unfair at teams like an Aston Villa. Yeah, and Aston Villa.
Yeah, I was just about to say straight away.
Even Brighton.
Fuck Brighton. I'd like to say Newcastle, right? But Villa have won a European Cup. I think they won two, haven't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like Villa are far above.
You're saying a bigger club. I'm saying a bit. I'm saying even now. I'm saying right now.
I'd say Villa are a bigger club than Spurs.
Yeah, but forget what they've won previously. Like right now, do they have a better squad on paper than Tottenham? You could argue that. Villa.
Yeah, I mean, argue it is an understatement. I'd just come out and say, yeah.
There's arguments in that pitch for sure.
Would you rather have Villa goalkeeper?
Yes.
Would you rather have Ollie Watkins or the PSG lad that they've got up front?
Kyle Moani.
Yeah. Premier League. Tell the truth.
Yeah, right now, probably. Right now,
You'd rather have Ollie Watkins.
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
right now.
Let's just go a really easy one. A signing that they plucked from the Championship on form right now. Would you rather have Buendia or would you rather have Xavi Simons?
That's wrong, mate. Yeah,
Answer the question,
Simmons,
Josh.
I'd rather have Xavi Simmons.
Fuck off. You'd rather have Buendia.
Buendia's always injured as well.
Buendia's a terrific little player,
He's
mate.
a good player. He's a good player, but he's probably got 1 or 2 seasons
I'll
left.
tell you who he's good for. Norwich.
Yeah.
Buendia.
Classic.
Great little player.
Classic. But the big six, I think, is a bit of a fallacy. And I feel that monopoly that those teams have won't exist for much longer because there are challengers. Like you say, Newcastle should arguably be in there already. Spurs arguably dropping out. Bournemouth, massively upwards mobile club. Are Sunderland in the big six now? Sunderland have gone right up there.
Well, this is the thing. I look at the games that we've lost, right? We lost against Man United. We lost against Brighton. We lost against Sunderland, right? I said about the fact we had faced a high-flying Forest side at the start of last season. Well, if we're going to give Forest that credit, then we've got to give
Sunderland the credit.
We've got to
as
give
well.
Sunderland that credit too. Yeah. So if you look at the Man United game, like that's a blip. It's a flash in the pan. We've got to send him off in the 5th minute. I really don't care.
Do you think we win that game if he doesn't get sent off?
1,000,000%, I think.
And I said the same thing on the kickoff. I got laughed at, but I agree. I think if we'd had 11 men, we would have it probably would have been 0-0 at half time, but we probably would have gone crazy.
I can go one better than that. Obviously, it's not possible. But if Enzo Maresca had a crystal ball, I think we'd have won the game. If you had known that they would go down to 10. because they were going to go down to 10 eventually.
He would have done the substitutions in a very different way.
He'd have done it in a different way.
He learned a lot of lessons from that game.
Then you look at the Brighton match. Again, a red card while we're leading the game. I believe we were leading it. You were at that game. I believe we were leading it until, what, the 80th minute? 78th minute?
I think it was right at the end.
It's right at the end when Welbeck came on. And then, all right, they end up running right. I'm not making excuses, but what I'm saying
mitigating
is
circumstances.
there are circumstances, right? Yeah. So, let me just...
The Sunderland one, for me, was a clear loss, though.
Yeah.
Like, that is a loss.
So just answer me this question, right? Considering that we haven't played City and we haven't played Arsenal, unless we know that we know we're going to win those games, yeah? But let's go pessimistic. Let's say there's no points from them games, yeah? And we already played them at the 11-game mark last season.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, we're 1 point better off. Does that mean that we have actually definitively improved on paper?
I don't think we have definitively improved. I don't think we have.
I would agree with you that the statistics would show that. Yeah, the statistics would show, all right, you're a point better off. You haven't had as hard a games, whatever. But then at the same time, I'd say we've beat a Liverpool side at Stamford Bridge who came there with everything to play for. And had just dropped an absolute treasure chest in the summer. There were circumstances to the win over Liverpool last year, weren't there?
Yeah.
They were already champions.
They were walking away from on the beach.
Already champions. We beat a better Spurs side than we faced last season. Regardless of whether we say, they're just a different alteration, like I said earlier, statistically, they are better than they were last season. We faced a better United side than we faced last season. We've been balancing Champions League football with Premier League football, and unlike last season, I'm not saying that some of these Champions League games aren't easier.
We have rested players in the Champions League.
We've had to rest, we've had to rotate.
Yeah.
And on the whole, come on, man.
We haven't done the A and B team like we did in the Conference League, for sure. That's fair to say. Also, we're still in the competitions. We're still in the League Cup, and we weren't at this point last season, I don't think.
There you go. Cole Palmer. We haven't mentioned Cole Palmer. Our star player at that point last season, up until that 11-game mark at the start of last season, how many goal contributions did Cole Palmer have, do you reckon?
I don't know. Tell me the answer to this. I don't know.
Well, he had 12.
Wow. 12 in 11 games.
12 in 11.
In the Prem.
12
alone.
in 11 games in the Prem, right? For our 11th game against Arsenal, and I've had to take a note here, I'm sorry, right? Barring Jadon Sancho, yeah? How many injuries did we have for that game? Jadon Sancho was injured. How many more?
3.
3 would be low. What, 4 in total?
For the Arsenal game last season?
Yeah.
Gone 6.
That's what 7 in total, including Jadon Sancho. Is what you'd expect. Yeah. Jadon Sancho.
He was the only injured player.
Jadon Sancho was the only injured player in the squad for that game, which meant that when we played Arsenal last season, in our 11th game, we had Reece James, we had Romeo Lavia, we had Cole Palmer, we had Levi Colwill, we had our starting number 9 at the time in Nicholas Jackson, all available. Now, let me just quickly read you out the injury list from this weekend, just gone, because on that list of players that could not be included through injury or suspension, you've got Cole Palmer, you've got Levi Colwill, you've got Romeo Lavia, you've got Badia Shil, you've got Osugu, and you've got Mudryk suspended, right? By the way,
Mudryk's still here at that time.
By the way, most of these boys have been out for the entire season.
Yeah.
All right, Romeo Lavia's had a few minutes here.
Few minutes.
Few minutes.
About
500
90
minutes.
total. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, right? So obviously, there's that context to it. And when I hit you with that context, does it not give you a bit more of an outlook to go, actually, that kind of balances things up?
Well, it's the level of the injuries as well, isn't it? It's Cole Palmer and Levi Colwill who, quite frankly, are pivotal to the way that we play football. And so that makes a huge difference.
So what I like to always do is I like to compare not just the statistics, I like to compare the feelings, right? Did we feel last season like if you took Cole Palmer out of our team, right, and you literally had him make what has he made this season? I think 3 starts. I think
it's not a lot.
I think he's had 3 starts, and I believe that one of them he had to come off after about 15 minutes, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
So let's say, for example, 11 games into last season, coming off the back of the Pochettino season, especially, right? I say to you, right, by the way, 11 games in, yeah, Palmer's only started a couple of matches for us.
It's 4 games.
4 games, but he came off.
He came off
in
twice.
two of them early,
agreed.
yeah? Right? So really, he ain't even played those 4 games for us. Like,
And he's only scored 2 goals.
He's got 2 goals.
In those
He's got
games.
2 goals, and only one of them was in the Prem. I'm pretty sure one of them was against Bayern, wasn't it?
I agree.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is this, right? He's got 1 goal in the Prem. Yeah, he's fucking hardly been on the pitch. If I took you back a year ago and I said, right, mate, we're 11 games in. You've been in a coma, Josh, right? Okay.
Not again.
No, you got annoyed that I had Tobes here. You turned up to the studio. You started, throwing stuff at me and whatever.
And you punched me. You clocked me.
I did have to hit you. And
This actually happened.
And put you in a coma, right?
This actually happened.
And you missed the first 11 games of the season.
Yeah.
Right? But it's all good because we're all friends here.
Okay.
Either way, you wake up and I go to you, right, do you want the good news or the bad news?
Is this what you do to your friends? I wouldn't want to know what you do to your enemies.
Yeah, there you go. I say to you, do you want the good news or the bad news?
I want the good news.
You want the good news. The good news is I haven't had Tobes here again.
Okay.
The bad news is you've been asleep for 11 weeks. No. And I say to you, right, just by the way,
Just
mate,
to let you know, Cole Palmer's...
Just to let you know, Cole Palmer's hardly played a minute of football.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, Levi Colwell's hardly played a minute of football.
Yeah.
And just to let you know, Malo Gusto scored his first Chelsea goal. You know that something
I'd be
bizarre's
going
gone
mad.
on, right?
I'd be saying something
You know
weird
that
has
something
happened.
mad's happened.
Yeah.
Now, if I said all that to you, yeah, and I said to you, by the way, mate, just to let you know, had it not been for the fact that Haaland has scored 14 league goals in 11 league games, we'd be sat second in the table right now. You wouldn't have believed me back then.
No.
Because back then, we were apparently Cole Palmer FC.
I also wouldn't have believed you that we'd have 5 clean sheets, the second most in the Premier League, without Levi Colwill.
Well.
Which is very surprising.
We'll speak about that. But what I'm saying here, right, is when you look at the narrative around us in the media, and I was about to say narrative. Have you know what you're saying? I don't know whether you've noticed this.
I feel like they're talking less about us now.
They don't talk about Chelsea much. They don't talk about Chelsea much. Like, mate, listen, right? Obviously, I don't watch everything, but what I'll do is I'll watch nowadays Sky Sports upload the analysis from after the games because once the game's done, I'm make my video or whatever. Then I'll go back and watch the analysis and stuff. I just don't really talk about Chelsea. Gary Neville and the Gary Neville podcast don't really talk about Chelsea. I don't really hear him talk about Chelsea on the overlap anymore. I don't really hear him talk. There was something negative to say. They would definitely be saying it, like any possible opportunity. You don't really hear him talking about Chelsea all that much anymore. But when you do, I would argue that if it's not coming out of the Chelsea community, of Chelsea spaces, it's normally coming from a relatively negative standpoint. I don't see all that much negativity, right? Just for context, when we speak about that points total, yeah, all right, it's only one more than last season. Do you know there's only one season in the last half a decade where we've had more at this point in time?
And what was that?
That was Tommy Tuchel's last season.
Yeah, and how many points did we have?
I think we had about 4 or 5 more.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you see us finishing 12th this season?
We're not going to finish 12th.
No, you can't.
I don't think we'll finish 12th.
So that's not relevant, is it?
No.
It's not. We finished 12th that season.
Mad.
Tommy Tuchel didn't.
Yeah.
But we did.
We
did as a club. So that's not even relevant.
Season,
so ultimately, there's a very strong argument here to be made, mate, that we're doing the best we've done out of the last 5 years.
This is what I find so mad about this, though, is that we're still 2 or 3 games away from a crisis, and Enzo Maresca getting, people putting huge pressure on him. So I feel like we are teetering on the brink of success and ultimate failure at the same time. And I think if you do look at the Premier League, what worries me at the moment, and maybe you need to dispel some fears that I have around this, is that you are right. We are 2 games away from being in a very different position in the table.
Yeah.
If you look at Everton, they're down in 13th. They are only 5 points behind us. So
you know what? Can I just say, like, it's actually fitting you used Everton. I've quite liked watching Everton this season.
Yeah,
I've actually thought it'd been all right.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And they're 13th.
Crazy, isn't it? But this shows you how bunched up it is. And I feel like my point is that I don't feel we can fully judge how this season is going to go at this stage because, quite frankly, we could finish 12th. I know I just said I don't feel like we're going to, but we are only 4 points off 12th.
So take away, right, include Liverpool, but take away Arsenal and Man City.
Yeah.
Who honestly, and like try and take away every bit of bias, who honestly do you think that, whether they'd admit it or not, any rival fan would be looking at as the outsider to be able to compete with those two, Arsenal and Man City? Do you think it's still Liverpool?
Sunderland.
Nah, you're talking rubbish. You're talking...
They're doing very well.
Yeah,
they're before. So you think they're just going to drop off a cliff eventually?
They're going to drop off a cliff. Do I think they'll finish inside the top 10? No.
You don't think they're going to finish inside the top 10?
Nope.
Wow.
Nope.
After how well they've been playing and how they've assembled the squad.
Yep.
And after they've beaten us.
Yep.
Isn't that hypocritical?
Not really, no. We got beat by Ipswich last season. In fact, the season before that, we got beat by all 3 relegated teams, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got beat by Southampton.
That's not really. Where did we finish in that season, though? It kind of is endemic of where we finished.
I get it. Listen, just quickly, I wouldn't rule out a top 10 finish. Yeah. But the fact that they are where they are right now, it's not, for me, a real strong. It's an indication they're going to stay up. It's an indication that they've been the best promoted team so far. But it's not an indication that once the games start coming thick and fast and whatever else, and experience starts to override, the almost the culmination of actually getting back up to the Premier League and that feel-good factor. Once that experience comes in, they've got the likes of Xhaka and whatnot in there. But come on. You don't truly think that over a 38-game season, Aston Villa aren't going to end up finishing above them.
Oh, no.
I will put it out there and piss off loads of people right now, potentially loads. I will put it out there, no matter what their league form's like now, I would have a bet with you that Newcastle finish above Sunderland this season.
Wow.
Do you want it? You don't, because you think the same as me.
I don't want it because it is entirely conceivable.
Do you think it?
Do I think it based on the current form? Maybe not.
No. Do you think once all said and done, Newcastle finish above Sunderland this season?
Do you know what? I'm going to stick my neck out and say no.
Okay, I think they do.
But just because they've been a bit of a basket case this season so far, Newcastle. They haven't been playing well, and they are Eddie is under pressure. Brian knows it.
They ain't been getting results. Sometimes I've seen them in matches play well, but they ain't been getting results.
That's what it's all about.
Actually,
I want us to
fair,
play shit and get results.
League-wise, I'm not talking about. I think they've been playing very well.
They've only got 12 points. They've lost 5 games. Newcastle. It's not looking good, is it?
Yeah, but it wasn't looking good. And I remember Brian worrying last season.
They're not going to be anywhere
not
near the top
worrying,
4.
but I remember Brian being a bit like, oh, fuck's sake, like this season.
Newcastle won't be in the top 4.
And I said, you get Champions League football. And I was laughed at.
Not this season.
Do you remember me saying it? Was I laughed at?
I do remember that.
I said Newcastle would get Champions League football, and they still did. I still think they'll get the same this season. Still think they'll get Champions League football.
Where do they end up finishing, Newcastle?
5th,
yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
To go back to your question, are there other teams that we can consider to be in that fight then?
What?
Is there anyone else to be in that fight to challenge us alongside Arsenal?
Of course,
and Man City?
Liverpool. But what I'm saying is, would you argue my point that when you're looking at potential candidates, and I'm not saying we're an outside. I'm not saying we're not an outsider, sorry. I'm not saying we're not an outsider, but when you're looking at potential candidates, I don't think that you can write Chelsea.
An outsider for what? I think for what?
The league title. And I think this, right? I don't think you can write Chelsea off, right?
Yeah.
And I think that if you do write Chelsea off, you're conceding that Arsenal are going to win it.
I feel like Arsenal will win it.
Yeah, well, then you can write Chelsea off. But if you don't concede that Arsenal will win the league title, then you can't write Chelsea off.
We do also have to remember there is a scenario in which we beat Arsenal and we're above them in the league, hey?
But
very soon.
Yeah, 100%, exactly. There is that scenario. But can I just ask you this, right? I think that would involve them dropping points to Spurs, so it's unlikely to happen. But
is it home or away?
I'll
look it up.
Look it up for me. Right. What I would say is this, yeah. Do you realistically put City in a title race?
It's at Arsenal, so
that
that does help. Do I put City in a title race? Yes.
You can't not, can you?
Yeah.
You can't not, right? Right now, Chelsea are the second highest scorers in the Premier League with only 2 goals less than Manchester City.
And they've got Erling Haaland.
They've got Erling Haaland on 14 goals. Mm-hmm. Our top goal scorer?
5.
4. For João Pedro. Would be Esteval, but he doesn't get starts all that often. By the way, you know, sometimes you can pull out a stat and it's like, yeah, that can just make things look good. Do you want a few more?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we're top of the table for expected goals, and that's not because of one high-scoring match or something like that, because we're top of the table for XG per match also. So it's not,
it's after 11 games as well.
There you go.
That's a decent sample size.
There you go. Who do you think has the most shots on target per game in the league?
Well, I'm guessing you're going to say Chelsea.
Could be Chelsea. Yeah. Just look into it. Probably is Chelsea. Who do you think creates the most big chances per game in the league?
We are very good at this, but the thing that you're omitting now, and I want to know if you have the data for, is the defence.
Who do you think has the second most clean sheets right now in the league?
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want any more?
Yeah.
I haven't really got any.
Oh, you haven't got any more defensive stuff?
I'll give you a good one.
Go on.
Who has took 6 games to equal the amount of goal contributions that Mason Mount has accumulated in 3 years at Old Trafford?
Would it have been a player that used to play for Man United?
It could have been. I'm trying to think.
I'm trying to think of who we've got that was a former Man United player that's playing for us. It's quite difficult.
Garnacho. Yeah.
I am getting a bit bored of that celebration, you know. I'm getting a bit bored of seeing it because I see it quite often where he's sitting on the side of the pitch.
I don't get bored of it. I'll sit 3-4 times a game. I don't mind it.
I'm surprised you weren't in the back of that. You were on the other side of the Matthew Harding, weren't you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's such a shame.
No, I was done. I was on the
Yeah,
Matthew
you were
Harding.
there. Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't remember it. I was drunk. Anyway, despite that, right, we've got Cole Palmer coming back after the international break. Yeah.
Yep.
We've got Caicedo, who at this moment in time, all right, you might go goal
He's
scoring.
on a plane.
You might go goal scoring, Haaland, blah blah blah. You've got Caicedo, who at this moment in time has been the best player overall in the Premier League this entire season.
Love it.
I
love the claim.
Don't love it. Agree with it.
I love the claim.
Go on, then.
I don't feel like other fans would agree necessarily, but I feel that's.
Of course, they wouldn't fucking agree. No one's going to agree. If you ever have a look at statistically the most hated clubs in the Premier League.
It's Chelsea,
right? Chelsea will always come fourth. Why would they come fourth?
Tell me.
Because no one cares about the free promoted and relegated clubs. And that means that Chelsea are the most hated club in the Premier League. So you're not going to hear it from any other fans that Caicedo has been the best player in the world.
And
but
also
I don't
the
give a
stats.
fuck. Caicedo has been the best player in the Premier League this season.
Yeah, the stats are never in Caicedo's favour either. But this season they kind of are because he is getting goals and assists, even from defensive midfield. The guy's a freak.
So just quickly, with all of that being said, because you kind of laughed at me there, yeah? What's to say that there isn't a world that after this international break, look, the stars would have to align. But, correct or not, did the stars have to align for every single fucking team that ever won a Premier League title?
Yes.
They did. They did. Give me a season where a team have won a Premier League title and I couldn't give you an example of the stars aligning. Yeah? So let's say, for example, stars aligning, Liverpool's first ever Premier League title. You know, there was no fans inside any grounds. Half the teams didn't know whether they were coming back. Half the teams were signing petitions for the league to just be abandoned at that point. People weren't really that interested. You also didn't know what effect that all of that was going to have on things in terms of finances, so you didn't know if you could invest properly. There's an asterisk next to it. I'm using Liverpool as an example. I could give you the stars aligning for every single season. Yeah? The only one I can't really think of is I think no matter what had have happened, we would have won that title under Jose Mourinho. So there's the only one, right? But what I'm saying is the stars have to align for anyone to win a league title. I don't want you to say, oh, Chelsea contenders or whatever. I want you to tell me now.
I want you to say that.
I want you now to tell me, can you write us off?
You can't write us off, but I do think you are looking at it through rose-tinted glasses. Because I do think that...
Blue-tinted glasses.
Well, exactly. I think if you look at the circumstances around the games that we've played, I still think we are weaker against that lower block. I still think we can't break it down, and I still think there are issues around that. So there'll be other teams that we play, potentially easier teams that we think are guaranteed wins. Burnley coming up, away. Just saying, if you don't win that game, then you're definitely not in a title challenge, are you?
No.
So I feel that there are... banana peels still on the horizon. And also, if we're being honest as well, mate, Arsenal are 6 points ahead of us. Yes, we could go and claw that victory back after beating them. We could get some points on them. but also they aren't conceding goals. I think they're set up in a way in which they are title winners. And what I mean by that is when we won our titles, we had solid defences. We had some of the best defenders in the world and no one could get round us.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. And not only that, we know that Liverpool will eventually come back. Yeah. We know that Man City...
We don't know that, but they could come back this season. They could finish fifth this season.
They probably will come back.
And by the way, just on your point of Arsenal, they've never been in this position before and blown it. They've never been in this position before with 8 games to go and blown it.
Yeah.
They've never been in this position before with, 6 games to go even and blown it. Do Arsenal like being the leaders?
They don't. They're known as bottlers. That's what I've heard. So much so they had a design on their shirt for a long time. And also, let's put some context to this as well. Saka isn't particularly firing right now. Gyökeres is injured. Kai Havertz is still injured.
What I do is I get Josh in the studio and I try to mind fuck him.
And
What,
it usually works.
what I don't realise is I'm the one getting minds twisted. But
Yeah, you are.
Right. What I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to get you to come to a realisation that there's every chance that Arsenal bottle this league title. Is that you don't believe that?
I don't know.
You don't believe there's every chance that Arsenal bottle this?
I don't feel there is because of the defence. Like if they'd even conceded 3 or 4 more goals.
Right, how many goals they conceded?
5.
No, they conceded 2 against fucking
They've
Sunderland the other day.
conceded 5 total this season.
Oh, was it not 5 before the Sunderland match?
No,
Okay, so they've got to concede 10 more goals.
to beat the record.
No, sorry. They've got to concede only 9 to beat it, and if it's 10, they've joined it.
They've joined it.
Yeah, I can tell you now, absolutely guarantee you now, there's no way that Arsenal are beating
But you're
the record.
using that record to determine whether they're successful or not in a title challenge. Mate, if they concede 20 goals, that's still an incredibly low amount. That's 20 goals would be near enough one every other game. That's a big difference. Mate, honestly, if they conceded 24 goals, they would walk the league. They would.
I'm just not sure.
I think you're within every right to question whether Arsenal have the staying power to be in a title challenge. But it's whether they're going to be pushed well enough by the other teams. And I think we are so up and down at the moment. I have no confidence that we outwork and outstay those other teams.
I know, and I kind of feel like the point that I'm trying to make here has become a little bit diluted. But what I'm trying to say here, right, is if you, and clearly you don't, right?
No, I don't.
You think that Arsenal are going to go and win this Premier League.
Quite easily.
I don't,
Yeah.
right? To predict the future, you must look into the past, right? And unfortunately, my past doesn't roll back 20 years more. I am not predicting the future by looking into the past of 20 fucking years ago when Arsenal last won a league title.
You're looking at their past of being bottlers, so you can't use that brush.
Well, I'm predicting the future and I'm looking into the past of the recent past. I'm not looking 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I'm looking at what this manager has done with this set of players.
So for
and
Kyle,
you could go, oh, okay, but Gyökeres weren't there. Okay, Gyökeres isn't going to be a difference maker this season. We've already seen that. So don't give me the old Gyökeres spin. He's not going to be a difference maker this season, right?
They're a weaker team without him, when they've got Mourinho playing up top. Yes, they are. They are.
Not distinctively, in my opinion. Not in my opinion. I don't really think so. What I'm saying is I think that there's every chance that Arsenal could bottle this title. Now, if they were to do it, right, I'll be a realist here. Is there every chance that Manchester City, potentially even Liverpool, are going to be in a better position to us to challenge for it? Yeah, there's that chance. But I don't see how you can just say, yeah, 100%. That's it. 100%. Man City are going to be in a much better position to challenge for this than Chelsea, because I've been watching City. I've seen inconsistencies. What I've seen is a team led by Erling Haaland, who scored 14 goals and has been really, really good. But I don't see a team that can't be got at. And with Arsenal, there has always been that point in every season over the last, 4-5 years, the Arteta reign, at some point they've crumbled. Mm-hmm. At some point they've crumbled. So I don't think I'm mad to look at that and believe that that could happen again.
Do you know if Haaland continues that goal-scoring run, do you know how many goals he scores by the end of the season?
What, league-wise?
Yeah.
Does he hit 42?
42.
Fucking hell.
So, and you think they won't be title challengers with an Erling Haaland scoring 42 goals?
No, but what I'm saying is a Haaland could get injured.
he doesn't have a record of injuries.
No, he doesn't.
He's usually pretty fit. So I think my general point is that, and look, for Kyle doing our predictions, I think we have to be quite honest now and put our predictions out there. Who is going to win the league title this season? One name. I don't want any explanation. I want a name. Kyle will put it on the prediction list, and we'll get some points at the end of the season. Come on. TikTok.
I'm going to go Chelsea.
Yeah, I love it.
No.
I love it.
Do you know who I'll go with? Just I'm not going to Arsenal. I'll go Man City.
Fair enough. I think that's a reasonable assertion. I'm going Arsenal.
And you're going Chelsea third?
I weirdly think that Chelsea could finish second. But I think it will be a distant second.
Like a 9-pointer?
Maybe even more.
Okay, I'm gonna go Chelsea. I'm gonna go City. I'm gonna go Arsenal finishing second, and I'm gonna go Chelsea finishing third. Just quickly,
Love
right?
it.
Just quickly.
So I've actually been more optimistic.
No, because we
because I just said Chelsea will finish second, and what did you say?
I said Chelsea finishing third.
So I've been more optimistic in my predictions then.
We haven't given our predictions. We've given one out of a few. So we're
just for the record for everyone watching, I've said Chelsea finish second, and Joey thinks that Chelsea going to finish third.
Okay.
So who's the more optimistic out of us now?
Are we going to win the Champions League? No, come on, you've got to predict
No.
it. No, you're really optimistic.
No, we're not. We're not going to win the Champions League.
We're not.
No.
I'm saying we are going to win the Champions League. I'm saying we'll finish third in the Premier League, and I'm saying we are going to win the Champions League. Okay? It's on here now. Come back and let it bite me in the arse if it doesn't happen.
No,
I'm
that's fine.
fucking calling it right now. Chelsea are winning the Champions League. As for domestic cups,
Who are we beating in the final?
in the final, probably get a little bit of revenge over Bayern.
Wow. That'd be really good. Where is the final
I
this
think
year?
we'd have fucking won that match, to be honest.
Where is the final?
Don't know.
Let's find out.
Don't know. Better not be at Bayern's ground because that'd be really unfair. If it's
Yeah.
at Bayern's ground,
It's
that'd
not
be the
fair
third.
on them.
If it was at Bayern's ground, that'd be the third final that's been hosted there to memory
Ooh.
since 2012 when we won it there.
Is it a completely random country, but a country that you'd want to go to?
Is it in Portugal?
No. It's in
Prague.
It's in Hungary.
Ooh,
It's in Budapest.
Nice.
That'd be fun.
Yeah,
That's a
would be
good.
fun.
That's a good little stag.
Yeah. So prediction for
Champions League. I think
saying
you're going to
no,
hate
so what
this.
round?
I think you're going to hate this.
Yeah.
So prepare. So strap in. Get your seatbelt on. I think we're losing in that qualifying round.
You're a fucking disgrace. We're winning the whole thing. Domestic cups. We're in a quarter final.
I think we get knocked out fairly soon in the League Cup.
Right, so let's rewind 5 minutes when you were telling everyone how much more optimistic
I
you were
just care
being.
about the Premier
I
League.
just told you we are going to finish third in the league.
Yeah.
We're going to win the Champions League, and I personally think we'll have a day out at Wembley. In terms of, let me go further than that. Not a semi-final in the FA. I think we'll have a cup final, a domestic cup final.
And what did you say in the capital? What did you say in the League Cup? Sorry.
No,
What
I
was
don't
your
know.
prediction?
One of the two. One of the two.
Oh, you're just saying you don't know either way. So I'm putting my neck on the line, and I'm saying what round we're going to get knocked out in. I think we get knocked out in the semis of the League Cup.
Ultimately, you're not predicting us to win either domestic cup.
I haven't said the FA Cup yet.
I'm not predicting us to win either domestic cup. I think we'll go to Wembley, right?
Okay.
Only because I don't want to look like a complete idiot and say we're going to win everything. I think we're going to win the Champions League.
I love the optimism.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
Plenty of people hate the optimism. And I'll tell you what else they they hate to do. They hate to ever acknowledge 11 months later when I be really petty and just stick a little like on their comment. When they commented, you got no chance against PSG. You got no chance of this. You think you finish? You're 8th in the league. You think you're making Champions League spots? Yes, mate, I do, and I think we're finishing top 4 as well. Not even 5th. So there you go. So actually, I think that this video, it could age like milk.
I think overall you have been actually very optimistic. And for my prediction on the FA Cup to do that,
Yep.
I reckon we might get to the final of the FA Cup.
And face?
I'm going to go Man City.
Ooh.
Yes. I'm going to go
Nice.
Man City.
There you go. Right.
Don't know if we
people,
win that game.
Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Let us know your thoughts on the start to this Premier League season. Do you think some of the stick that Enzo Maresca has come in for is fair? Or are you like me and you want to continue to see the work and ultimately see the players back on the pitch that Enzo Maresca wants. Maybe even see the additions that Enzo Maresca consistently stated he wanted through the transfer window. I want all of your thoughts in the comment section below, and smash a like on this video if you want another video from myself and the big dog dropped tomorrow. And just tell them quickly, if they want any more of us, maybe not in the Chelsea world, but in the YouTube world, Joey and Josh.
There is a channel called Joey and Josh. Much like this channel should be called Joey and Josh, but you cheat at me every now and then, so fair enough. But yeah, Joey and Josh, we've got amazing true crime cases. We've got one that's be dropping this week.
Yeah.
That I have to say is an insane case that you are going to have to watch. It's based in Luton, based in the UK. It's a mad story, isn't it?
It is. It is. And it has nothing to do with Rob Edwards.
It's got nothing to do with Rob Edwards, the best looking manager in the Football League.
Debatable, I'd go Enzo Maresca. People, I will see you all in the next one.